Hey, what's going on, viewers? I'm Daniel, back at it with another video. Trying to do some videos. I'm not sponsored, disclaimer, by anybody, nor am I making any money at all. Hell, I don't even think I'm getting noticed at all. But just disclaimer, I'm not sponsored by anybody, no motorcycle class, no motorbike brand. I'm just here to share you some information if anybody happens to watch this video. And if you're about to, just click away, do me a favor, at least hit the like and subscribe button. I don't know what it's gonna do for me, but just hit the like and subscribe button before you leave. So what I want to talk about today is motorcycle. Everybody gets excited about riding a motorcycle either in their young years or somewhere after 35 or 40 years old. And if you haven't noticed, there's a gap between age 20 and up to about age 40. And that gap is usually because somewhere around there, if you were young and riding a motorcycle, well, pretty much, when you're young, you're doing stupid stuff. And then all of a sudden, you met a woman, and or maybe two, maybe three, maybe four, depending who you are. You racked up a lot of women and racked up a lot of kids, and in other words, you started a family, and motorcycle was not something on your mind during that time of raising your kids. So now that the kids are already grown, or maybe they're about to go out the door, now you want to say, hey, I want to ride, I want to ride. But if you're young and you haven't ran into that situation yet, and you're thinking, I'm in my 20s and I want to ride, everybody's riding, and it seems like everybody is riding nowadays, and it's more of a fun sport, not a you need to get a motorcycle. Motorcycle is just a toy. For very few people, it is a way to commute back and forth to work, especially with high gas price being so high. Or maybe if they live in a real heavy traffic area where they know a motorcycle can pretty much cut in between the lines and cut traffic by like 40 minutes, which I'm not sure if that's illegal, but you're gonna have to check depending on the state that you're in if it's okay to drive in between the lines. I don't encourage it, but I've done it myself a couple of times, especially when there's been an accident. Especially when there's been an accident, I just drive in between, or I'll drive, on the shoulder, because most motorcycles are not built to idle for a long period of time, and that's therefore, they're cooled by wind. As you drive, the motorcycle cools, and it can only idle for a certain amount of time. Anyways, what I want to get to you about is motorcycle class, and that is the MSF Basic Riders Course. That nowadays, if I'm correct, if I'm not, let me know, but just about every state in America is now enforcing for you to get your motorcycle license, you gotta take a rider's course before you can earn your endorsement. Yes, there's people riding out there without their endorsement, but it's a matter of time of, well, when they'll get pulled over by the cops. And how do they get by buying a motorcycle? Most of the time, it's just buying it from a private owner, or somebody's desperate to sell the bike. They'll just give it to you for the money. And in most dealerships, like, if I'm right, like Harley Davidson and some of the dealer sports, they will not sell you a motorcycle without a motorcycle license. But some do, some don't. It just depends. But anyways, but if you are new and you are trying to earn your motorcycle endorsement, I just want to remind you that this basic rider's course is not a how to ride a motorcycle. It is not. Okay? Just put that through your mind, put that through your head. It is not a how to ride a motorcycle. And a lot of people get this confused. The basic rider's course is to earn your endorsements. It's not to learn how to ride, but you do get educated on some information about how to properly ride a motorcycle while you're in class. But see, the thing is, the rider coach in that class has a list. And I think he has maybe like 14 courses he has to go through, if I'm right. Or, see, there's 15, 16. So he has about 16 sections he has to go through on his list. It's kind of like day one, what they're doing is you're learning. It's kind of like you're learning and you're practicing for the written and the driving test. The written and the driving test. Day two, you freshen up a little bit, and then by the end of the class, that's when you're going to have your written class and you're going to have your driving class. Driving test. Written test and driving test. So, before you take this class, before you take it, you need to do some research. One, have you ever ridden a bicycle? Because if you've never ridden a bicycle, you're going to have a hard time riding a motorcycle. Because it's going to require you to turn left, turn right, and keep your head up. Because wherever your head goes, that's where the bike's going to go. And if you can't turn right with your head, you're never going to turn right. Or if your head's always wandering around, you're always checking out the scenic routes, and wherever your head goes, your bike's gonna go in that direction. You're gonna hit on for a head-on collision. So everything you need to know is in this book when you take the class. It's in the book, it's in the class. Do not do what I did, and that is do an online practice test with the state that you're in. Because it is completely different. Everything you need to know to take the test is in this book. We also have information which give you information where's the throttle, where's the clutch, the gear shift, rear brake pedals. It shows you some of the older bikes where they have their cutoff fuel, reserve fuel, ignitions. Another thing, we also have, about inspecting your motorcycle and maintenance, motorcycle fitness, personal protective gears, information, everything, intersections, who's going to go first, what to watch out, which lanes you need to be in, how to be visible. The rider's course is going to give you a lot of information about riding a motorcycle. But at the same time, it's not a how to ride, it's more a earn your endorsement. And if you are lucky to earn your endorsement, let's just say you're not really certified rider, like you're not a professional rider right off the bat, and you're free to ride out there on the road. For some people, they're still gonna have to practice. Practice in their own neighborhood, practice in the parking lot, Maybe spin around inside the neighborhood or the city, within the city limits of 35 to 50 miles an hour. You know, get used to their motorcycle, get used to the environment. For me, it took a little while to get up to 70 miles an hour. I mean, I can ride, I can handle the motorcycle, but getting on the highway at 70 miles an hour, not saying I was freaked out, but I gave it a little extra time to get used to it, you know? Like, I was used to going 55. Like, 55, I'm comfortable, I'm relaxed, I'm enjoying, you know, the wind blowing in my face, you know, I'm enjoying it. But trying to get up to 70 miles an hour or 80, 90, 100, you know, that took me a little while. Not to say that I'm freaked out, but it's just, you know, hey, it's my first time owning a motorcycle, so I needed to get used to it. You know, I need to get a feel for the bike, which is another thing. You need to feel the bike. You need to feel the rhythm of the bike. You can search motorcycle classes in your area. Some people love to sign up for Harley Davidson. I'm not saying Harley Davidson is not a good motorcycle class, but let me put it this way. If you have zero experience riding a motorcycle, zero, I'm talking about like you've never ridden a motorcycle, you've never been on the highway with a motorcycle, I don't recommend you take the Harley Davidson class. That's only for people who have experience. And if you're asking me like, well, how the hell did they get experience? That's because they've done it illegal for quite a while. They bought a motorcycle, they traveled for a while, and then one day, cops pulled them over, gave them a ticket for no license for driving a motorcycle, and now they're in class because the judge told them, take the class and we'll dismiss your ticket. Simple as that. And every state wants you to be really educated. They want you to prepare yourself when riding a motorcycle. It is not a joke when riding a motorcycle. It's fun, but at the same time, it's a serious it's serious that you must pay attention. You might be the best rider on the highway, but you still have to check your surroundings because you're the only one who's not texting. You're the only one that's not watching Netflix, watching Hulu behind the wheel, eating a burger, eating fries, eating snacks, putting makeup, having a conversation where they're not paying attention to the road. You're the only one out there that's focused. And that's kind of like dangerous because you can't be out there expecting people to, you know, respect you. You got to take precautions. You need to be in the right lane at all times. If you're not going fast, stay on the right. If it's a 3-lane highway, don't stay in the center, stay on the right. Or if there's cars coming and getting on and getting off, I understand you want to be in the center lane, but if you must do that, keep an eye of your area and watch out for people who are not paying attention to you, because you're really, really invisible when you're on the road. And plus, some people really hate motorcycles. It's like they got like some kind of bad taste in their mouth. Like they're just like, they look at you and they think you're like scum of the earth or something, you know. And really, you're just out there having fun, you know. Like they're just hating because maybe they can't ride a motorcycle or whatever it is. Anyway, Basic Riders Course is not a how to ride, but it is a earn your endorsement. So please do me a favor and do your research. Learn what motorcycles are. Learn where the ignition is, the clutch, how many gears they got. Just do some research, you know. Watch other YouTube videos about how riders ride and how they avoid obstacles on the road. Learn some information before you take this class. Another great thing will help is if you know how to drive a stick, that even works better, because now you know how to control the friction. You know when to pull that clutch, and you know to slowly let off the clutch, which is your friction. And you're going to be using that to take turns, left, right, right turns, left, left turns, right turns. Be able to pull it whenever you're about to come to a stop. And you'll know when to switch gears, when to shift up, when to shift down. These motorcycles that you're going to be at the motorcycle class, they're older bikes. They're not like the new ones where they got cancel signals and easy to shift, fuel injection systems. There might be one or two fuel injection motorcycles in that class, but majority of the time it's like old-fashioned bikes. Not too old, but more like early 2000s, maybe a little bit in the late 90s. And but yeah, you need to pick up some information before you go to motorcycle class. And the reason why I say be careful not to take Harley Davidson class, that's because with Harley Davidson, if you fail the class, they have a long list of people waiting to ride, and they're already booked 3, 6, up to 1 year in advance for motorcycle class. And remember, if you can't pass the written or the driving, you fail. Therefore, you can't tell Harley Davidson, well, let me take the class tomorrow. You got another class coming up, right? Another one scheduled next following day. And they're going to be like, yes, we do, but we're booked. And now you're like, wow, I just lost. I don't know how much the classes are, but I will say they're typically almost $300. I think like $275. Prices have changed since I took the motorcycle class. But just to throw almost $300 down the hole because you didn't know how to pass the written or the driving, it's kind of a loss of your time, money. And then if you're really trying to, get back in the Harley Davidson class, it's like, sorry. Now you're going to have to get a hold of another class that's not Harley Davidson and join their class. And so I recommend you just go with the, motorcycle class that's nearby your neighborhood, that's not with Harley Davidson. If you have experience, go ahead, do Harley Davidson, no problem. If you're a genius, you're smart, you're not nerve-wracking, go for it. But you need to go in this basic rider's course with some knowledge. You can't just go in thinking the rider coach is going to teach me how to ride. The rider coach is going to teach me how to balance the bike, how to operate the bike. That's not what it is. It's not. Because he has his list of what he needs to show you and get you prepared for the test. And if you're not on board and you're having a hard time, you're going home. If you don't have on the right shoes, you don't have the right safety equipment on you, you don't have your face shield down while you're on the motorcycle, you will be sent home. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. It is not a joking matter when you take the rider's course, because there are people in there that are trying to learn. There are people that are trying to earn their endorsements. There are people that like, hey, it took me a while to schedule this time off, and this is the only time I got, to earn this rider motorcycle class endorsement. So you gotta be respectful with your classmates. Another thing, when you're in class, don't try to create a separate group. Like, here's the Reds, here's the Creeps, here's the Bloods, here's the Latinos, and here's Whitey and stuff like that. No, I don't care where you're from, what site you're from. When you're in that motorcycle class, you got to work together, help each other out to achieve your endorsement. You got to work together. You got something to say? Share it with the group. Share your thoughts. Share your experience. Maybe another rider can tell you how to correct yourself, because people are watching you, and if they saw that you were being too steady with the handlebars, they'll let you know. Or hey, maybe if you try, this or try that. It'll help you better with your riding. So another thing too, read the fine print when you sign up for the class. Make sure you're on time. Matter of fact, don't be on time. Be early, okay? Like 1 hour early to give you enough time in case you got to make a stop for some breakfast. Maybe you're running low on fuel. Maybe you run into a car accident. Maybe you're getting pulled over. You got to give yourself plenty of time to get to class. As soon as class starts, it starts. There's no take a 30-minute break or let's spend the next hour, BSing around. No, class starts. The sooner we start the class, the sooner everybody gets to leave. Usually it's from 8 to 5, so expect it to be an all-day class. If everything goes smooth, everybody does what they're supposed to do, the class goes completely quick. You might just be there for like 8 to 3. And of course, we all love to leave early. We don't want to be there till 5 o'clock. So, and another thing, if you're an older person and you're thinking about riding a motorcycle and you're thinking about buying a trike, a 3-wheel bike, or a Spider, Can-Am Spider 3-wheel, I do have to say this. If that's all you're planning on driving and you're not skillful, you don't have skills to ride a 2-wheel, and you're thinking that this class is going to help you ride a 2-wheel, you need to back up, get a hold of Can-Am, and see where their nearby class is to teach you how to ride a 3-wheel. This way, you'll earn your endorsement, but you're only going to be restricted to a 3-wheel bike, not a 2-wheel. So yeah, 2-wheel bike, you can ride any motorcycle you can. But if you can't ride 2 wheels, the 3-wheel will get you, but you're only limited to 3 wheels. Just to give you a heads up in case you're thinking, I'm 65 years old, I just need to drive a scooter, or, not a scooter, but, you just want to ride a trike bike. You want to go buy your Harley Davidson trike bike, and that's all you're going to be riding. Make sure you take the 3-wheel class, not the 2-wheel. Save you some time, save you some money. But again, this class is not for how to ride, okay? Now, you're thinking, what if I need some lessons one-on-one? There are some classes that you can take for one-on-one, bit expensive. I'm not sure if you earn your endorsement there, but it's going to be expensive to show you one-on-one on how to ride. That's what I'm saying. If you have a friend, you have a family member, you got some cousins, someone, go check out their bikes. See if they'll let you ride their bike around the block. Get a good hands-on where everything is. Handbrake is on the right for the front wheel. Clutch is on your left. Your brake in the back is going to be on your right foot. Switching gears is going to be on your left foot. Also get to know where all your turn signals are, how to cancel, how to make a left, right turn signal, your horn, your kill switch. In the event that something happens, you just hit that kill switch, which is also good to know. If something goes wrong with your bike, just hit that kill switch, shut the power off. Another thing that causes the bike to shut the power off is when you hit the kickstand. So if you come to a complete dead stop and you hit that kickstand, the whole motorcycle will shut off on its own. Most of them do that nowadays if you hit that kickstand. So that's another important thing. If you're in the class and you're trying to start that bike, the rider coach is going to look at you and be like, can you tell me what's wrong? Why won't your bike start? Tell me what's wrong. You forgot your kickstand. So, they're not there to make fun of you. It's just that they want you to be aware. They want you to take this serious and be safe out there on the road. But yeah, I just want to let y'all know that Basic Riders Course is not a how to ride a bike, but it's to earn your endorsement. That's their focus. And MSF Motorcycle Safety Foundation also has a lot of courses once you pass a basic rider's course, where you can learn how to ride a dirt bike, and they got lots and lots of classes that you can achieve once you pass your basic rider's course. But yeah, there's just so much information here. This one, they're gonna teach you about what they're gonna do, like start up, speed up, slow down, good job, increase space, stop. Teach you about the drinking and alcohol. What kind of bikes we got? We got chain drive, belt drive, shaft drive. What to do if a dog comes up to you. Clutch cable failure, weave and wobble. Winds. Crossing. Just all kinds of very good information about how to ride. One particular I like is, if I can find, the wind chill chart, telling you, like, for example, if you're traveling 40 miles an hour and let's say the temperature is 60, really when you're riding a motorcycle, it's going to feel like 25. If it's if you're traveling 60 and it's 35 degrees, it's going to feel like 17. So it gives you a little idea. If you're traveling 15 miles an hour and the temperature is 10 degrees, it's going to be like -4, which I think you should kind of already know that by now. Colder it is, whatever the temperature is outside, like if it's really cold, like it's 60, it's going to be a little more chillier than that when you're riding. But I just want to give you a heads up. Basic rider's course, get a little knowledge before you pay the $275. I took the rider's course over outside of Houston, where I'm from. Well, I mean, I'm not from outside of Houston. Well, I guess you could say like Katy, Texas is outside. But in the Houston area, northwest, there's a small town called Magnolia, Texas. And that's where I took the motorcycle class. And there's a rider coach named Chips, like the California Highway Patrol Chips. And if you do run into that guy in Houston, do be prepared that he does mean business. He takes his class seriously. And if you don't follow the rules, you will get in trouble and you will end up going home. And it's up to you. You want to come back, take the class again, which is going to cost you again another $275, possibly a discount, maybe. But I guess it all depends. Did you fail the riding course? Did you fail the driving test or the written test, or did you just not follow the rules? So, yeah, be on time, wear the proper safety gear, study what's in the book, study what's in class, ask for help, work together, and it will be a fun class. And I really did enjoy the motorcycle class in Magnolia, Texas. It was pretty fun. Just, don't be goofing off, man. Don't horseplay like it's high school. People pay a lot of good money to go to class, earn their endorsement, and the last thing you want to do is leave, knowing that you just wasted 1 day or 2 days of your life and almost $300. To me, that hurts to lose that much money. I don't make that much. So, but yeah, this is me, Daniel. Get a little bit of education, because that's what I did. Before I took the motorcycle class, I got a hold of my buddy up in Indiana. He let me borrow his motorcycle a couple of times around the farm. He pointed out to me where the clutch was at, where the brakes were at, and I did some practice, and I did pretty good when I went to class. So yeah. If you got any questions, comments, comment below. I'm just giving you heads up what to expect when you take a motorcycle class and what to expect too, about Harley Davidson. I'm not saying Harley Davidson is bad. Just remember, you can't take that class again because there's a long list. And I know people like to take Harley Davidson because they get to ride Harley Davidson bikes. Where you take this rider course, who knows what they got? They got Honda bikes, they got Kawasaki bikes, they got, I think they even one time they had a moped in that class. So, and they're not big bikes either. They're kind of smaller bikes. Easier to do the eights, crazy eight. Easier, to lean forward in any direction you want. Easy to pick up the bike in case you drop it. Compared to an 800-pound bike or a 1,200-pound bike. But, these probably weigh about maybe 300 pounds, I'm guessing. I'm not too sure. But, yeah, giving you heads up, preparing you to earn your motorcycle endorsements. Be safe. Remember to watch your surroundings at all times. And good luck on the motorcycle class wherever you're taking it. And if you're going to be taking the one in Magnolia, tell Chips, Daniel sent you out there. And another thing too, in Magnolia with Chips, as soon as you walk in the class, I don't know about the other motorcycle classes, but as soon as you walk in and you're early, read the board. There'll probably be some kind of task for you to handle. Follow the instructions. You can't just go in there and sit down and just be like, all right, I'm gonna wait for 8 o'clock. As soon as 8 o'clock kicks in, instructor's gonna come in. No, there's already instructions on the screen what to do. Start filling out like your names, and there's also another task on the backboard telling you, how do you feel about your skills, your riding skills, how would you judge it? Is it a 9? Is it an 8? Make sure it's a dry eraser and not a permanent marker. But tell Chips to say what's up, and hopefully this information prepares you for his class, because he does prepare you and he is serious. So there, in his class, there is time to learn and there's time to play around, but most of the time it is serious game with him.
What are you looking at, ass?
Nothing, sir.
You plotting on me, boy?
No, sir.
Well, let me tell you something, ass. Let me tell you all something. War has made me very paranoid. And when a man gets the eyeball at me, it makes my Agent Orange act up. And I get the urge to kill. Do you understand me?
Sir, yes, sir.
Do you all understand me?
Sir, yes, sir.
I can't hear you.
Sir, yes, sir.
To learn how to ride, prepare you for the test, and get you to earn your endorsement. Because like I said, to lose 275 and lose 2 days of my time, to me that hurts a lot. Maybe to others it doesn't, but to me it's like, hey, I don't like getting up at 5 in the morning, getting ready for class, and be there, by 8 o'clock. I think now it's 8 o'clock. But yeah, questions, comments, leave them below. Tell me what else you want to know. Like I said, most of the time, get a hold of a friend, get a hold of a family member who has a motorcycle, or if none of your people in your family have a motorcycle, stop by the nearby dealership and don't get caught up in the sale yet. And that's another thing too. You really don't have to own a motorcycle, to earn your endorsement. There's motorcycles already prepared for you, and then when you get out, you don't have to go out and buy your motorcycle like that. You don't have to go buy a $20,000 Harley Davidson or $50,000 Harley Davidson. You don't have to, unless you got the money. That's up to you. There's this website called ridershare.com. There's bikes available all over the United States, ready to be rented out. So if you're kind of curious, you're like, well, I want to know what Ducati feels like, a glider Harley Davidson feels like, a Yamaha feels like, or a Ninja bike feels like, go rent you one. Once you earn your endorsement, Go rent you one. There are even some places that offer we call it like Yamaha. Sometimes I'll go across country and they'll have bikes lined up for people to test drive around the block for like a 5-mile radius. Free, just don't get caught up in the sales. That's all I gotta say. And that's the thing I like about earning my endorsement is now I can rent a motorcycle anywhere I'm at, whether I'm in Chicago, Florida, New York, LA, anywhere in the country, I can rent one. And I can enjoy the wind in my face, you know, for just as low as like $50 to $200, depending on the bike, and then depending on the restrictions on miles. Without even have to own a bike, you know, I don't have to spend thousands and thousands of dollars of owning one and having it just sit in your garage. Like for example, I have a motorcycle, a used one in 06. I paid $4,000. In 3 years, I only put 100 miles. That's it. That's what I'm trying to say. You don't have to own one. You can always rent one. So, again, I'm Daniel. I hope you pass your motorcycle class. And have a great day and see you on the next video.